Hey all, it's Monday again, and we're going to be starting out with a bang and something right up Trenton's alley. I think he's finally getting a little over his congestion and the sickness that he had. He's bouncing off the walls down here. He's rocking, ready to go. So we have a rye whiskey video set for you today.
My palate cleared up just for this, or my sickness, my congestion. We kind of solidified we were doing this video, and immediately it went away.
How was your weekend? I know you and Michelle went away just for a few days.
Little shopping in Galena with Rachel and Colin, and went to the Blom Brothers. Didn't go to the distillery. They have like a little cocktail lounge kind of thing. It was really cool. Their Negroni was awful, I will say. They did not know how to make a Negroni.
I got a new Negroni for you that some other time you want to try it.
All right.
Yeah, new one. New little recipe. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad you were able to kind of feel a little bit better.
I bounced back, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Earlier in the year, and not even earlier, it was like a month ago, I had heard about Old Granddad 16 coming out like since the beginning of the year, and I was really excited. I heard the same thing about Old Overholt 11. So we're going to be reviewing Old Overholt 11 rye and the Sagamore 9 rye. Both just came out. I've not seen any reviews on these. I don't know anything about these other than the price and their age stated. Which is kind of exciting. This is the highest age statement that's ever come out of Sagamore, from what I know.
Great stuff, usually.
And I think this is also the highest age stated from Old Overholt, but there was an 11-year that came out in 2020.
Wow.
I think it was very limited, though. I think it was like Pennsylvania and a couple other states. It was very limited.
I don't know much about it. We're going to start over here with Old Overholt Trenton, just because it's a little bit lower proof than the Sagamore.
Oh, really?
It's the only reason I set it up that way. This one here is 53.7 ABV. So a little over 107 proof.
Okay.
What is the old price tag on this bad boy here?
$99.99.
$99.99. Okay.
Half of Old Granddad's 16.
Well, now there you're talking. Now you're talking good things. I did nip back a little bit on the Old Granddad 16. You know.
It got a little better?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do some video on that.
That would be interesting.
Things happen sometimes. I mean, I can't say that it'll launch up to one of my faves. I can't say that.
Yeah.
But in the video, we're a little bit hard on it, you know. We were a little bit, but
hair stuck in my watch here.
I think it came around a touch.
All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't $200 wasted. I'm hoping this isn't $100 wasted, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I've never been disappointed with Old Overholt before.
I know. It's never been one of my favorite ryes, and maybe that's because it still lies under the Jim Beam thing. You know, I don't know the whole Jim Beam for me. You know, I don't think it's garbage by any stretch.
Sure.
But a lot of it doesn't really suit my palate the way I like it to be. So I'm very curious to see how this one is.
It's weird. It has some Beam bourbon notes in it.
It does.
That's
got
weird.
A tiny bit of rye, honest to goodness, and I'm not a champion at those that are trying to guess what's in the glass, but I would never pull out that this is a rye on the nosing notes.
I don't know that I would either.
No way. I'm sure I wouldn't.
Keep in mind, if you didn't see a couple of last week's videos, I am still a little bit sick, so I don't know that my palate's 100%. So I'm hoping that I can convey what I'm smelling and tasting accurately. But I get a little bit of a black licorice note on this a little bit, and anise.
I'm getting a little bit of root beer, Trenton. I don't know if that's even. I mean, that's crazy because I would have never said that about any other root beer I've ever. I could see that. Any other rye that I've ever tasted or smelled.
So you say root beer, not root beer.
I do.
It's like pecan and pecan.
Yeah.
Pecan.
Do you say crick or creek? You know, they go on and on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there is a little bit of cherry in there too, and there is a little bit of a light herbal note in there, possibly like a little tiniest of mintiness in there.
I do. I get like some leathery, like some light leather notes in this, which is also weird. I don't usually get that in a rye.
Sure.
A little mint, but it's not like upfront mint like with some other ryes.
Absolutely not. If I didn't know that I was trying to smell the aromas of a rye whiskey, I would have never really sought out or really caught that tiny bit of mintiness. A little bit of cherry, though. I am getting that for sure.
What's the proof?
It's like 107, real close to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fingers crossed.
Let's get it.
I like it.
That's pretty darn good.
I like that. It's a little, like grassy,
Tiny bit.
but it's got that it's like a really nice minty kind of a note. I don't get much like pepper. Like there's really no like really spicy rye characteristics that I'm getting. It's really kind of more of a soft rye. Really. I don't know what the mash bill on this is. I probably should have looked at that, but if this was like one of those barely legal ryes, like 51%, it wouldn't surprise me.
I'm still getting a little cherry on there,
Are you?
for sure. Absolutely. Definitely mid to the back, it gets to those grassy notes that Trenton was speaking of, and just the tiniest bit of bitterness on the way in the back. Maybe a little bit of that barrel coming through. The front's really nice and sweet, though. Getting that cherry note.
Man, I wish I was. I'm still not 100%. I can tell, but I'm not getting any of the cherry I want to. But it's still kind of like medicinal with the grassy and the minty. It's almost like one of those Ricola like cough drops a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that medicinal. What you're speaking of, the mintiness is exactly how I sought it out, how I found it in the aromas as slight mintiness.
It's like bruised mint, like you just really punched it and like really kind of expressed the oils and the mint. That's delicious. I'll say this. Old Overholt used to be like, it was a Pennsylvania rye. It used to be one of the most well-regarded Pennsylvania ryes. I don't think they started the rye in Pennsylvania. They might have before it was Jim Beam. I think it was just the Old Overholt Distilling Company. I don't think it was anything before Beam bought it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of went like more bottom shelf, similar like Old Crow. Old Crow, I think it used to be Ulysses S. Grant's like favorite bourbon was Old Crow. And then it just like kind of went to the bottom shelf. You don't see Old Crow anywhere but bottom shelf anymore, unfortunately.
Right.
But I'm glad that they're taking the Old Overholt, kind of the historical elements of it, and like kind of propping it up and doing some stuff like this and really show, because I like this. This is very good.
I think it's very good too. I am encouraged because it is a Jim Beam product, which isn't usually up my alley, but I think this is pretty solid, buddy. Worth exactly $100. I'd say it's pretty close to that.
Whether Jim Beam knows it or not, based on the ryes that I've had from Jim Beam, they do ryes better than they do bourbons.
Amen to that.
I wish that they leaned into that a little bit more, and I think this is kind of a testament to what they can do. And the price point, $100. Yes, it's a limited release. It's an 11-year, a little bit pricey, but I mean, this is we'll use this as a really solid segue into the Sag 9.
Here we go.
This was $79.99.
Oh, okay. So $20 cheaper.
Yeah, 2 years cheaper,
All right.
$20 cheaper.
9 years age stated.
Yeah.
Sagamore, though, buddy.
Oh.
I probably have. And you know me.
Yeah.
Y'all know me. I'm not huge into rye whiskeys. When it comes to whiskey, I like them all. But I have probably 7 or 8 rye whiskeys from Sagamore back there because they know how to make a rye whiskey.
Anytime somebody
really, really good stuff.
Anytime somebody asks, like, hey, what would, like, I'm kind of just getting into ryes, what would you recommend? Sagamore's always at the top of the list. Sagamore, Pikesville, New Riff.
And I find their finishing process to be expertise too, in their finishing process. You must like them. They really do a good job. All right, let me look at this again. I think this is around 112. Yes, 112.6 proof.
That's a beautiful proof point.
Yeah, I always love the bottle too, Trenton. For some reason, I just love that thick glass. Stands tall. A little bit of some lines, some angled lines. Really looks nice.
It does. I'll say this. When we were talking we did 2 barrel picks at Sagamore. It wasn't last year, it was the year before, I think. We went down to Baltimore. We were with Brian Tracy before he left Sagamore. Love Brian Tracy, he's a great guy. He was telling us that they had just started moving some of their bottle and bond, I think, was just starting to become their own distillate. I see here it says distilled in Indiana, so I can only assume that this is 9-year MGP. It's not their own stuff.
Okay.
But still, I've had a lot more. I've had 9-year MGP that's like 2 times the price of this and not as good.
Oh, for sure.
So
thanks for that clarification anyways. I would hope with...
Unless this is a contract distillate. I'll say that. It could be.
I would hope with the clout that Sagamore has in producing their rye whiskeys, because everything is legit, even if it was sourced, they would know how to source proper. And from the aromas here, it's
Just smell
pretty
it.
darn good.
This smells like a maple finish.
There's definitely some heavy maple in there, but I get some rye characteristics as well. But it's, to me, the aromas in here are like perfectly layered, perfectly balanced. It's a delight.
The only Sagamore that I've ever had, and I've said this before, I think in a video, that I thought was not good was the rum finish.
Well,
The only rum finish I have had that I do like was the Prideful Goat. I think it was an 8 or a 9 year. It might have been cask strength.
okay.
It's incredible.
Well, I think you might fall a little bit into my category when it comes to rum finishes. I'm not a huge fan, but I do like them a little bit more on a rye whiskey than I do, especially. I am not a fan of rum finish on a bourbon.
You didn't like the Voyage Master's Keep?
Well, no.
Sorry, I had to go there.
I'm sure you did. No. We'll leave it there.
If you want to try a really nice rum finish, try the Prideful Goat rye.
Yeah, some of the ryes are not too
really,
bad.
Yeah, really nice. Except Sagamore's, I don't think they did a good job. Sorry, I'm just being honest. Everything else they do is fantastic. I can't. I gotta drink it. Come on, man. Holy crap.
A little bit of cherry cola. Wow. That's really good.
I don't get any of the maple translation to the palate.
I'm glad you said that because I don't either. I know it's 112 proof, but it definitely is not that bitey either. It's relaxing on the palate. Yeah, okay, it might drink close to that 110 proof, but it's not. Some rye whiskeys can get real bitey to me. That's not this, or this one for that matter.
This is another, like another rye where I don't get much mint, but I get this like kind of dry barkiness to it. It's a little bit drying on the back, and this I kind of like it.
God, it's so good. I'm still cannot get off the cherry cola note that I have because it's a little bit of cherry, but it's more in a darker way. So, man, it is really good for $80 too, guys. I think that's a buy. That's a steal, in my opinion. This one.
Was doing a little bit of an inventory in my basement the other day. I was looking for something, and I have 7 Sagamore sherry finishes. I don't know where I got them or why I bought that many, but usually when I say I would buy a case of this, I'm not joking because that was one of them. That is unreal.
Too bad we don't have the 8-year out here to kind of.
I know. Do you want me to get it?
Who knows where it's at, bro? But that to me, and if you've all tasted, the 8-year was very good as well.
Incredible.
Very good as well.
Really good.
But from my memory, that one tops it a little bit. There's a little bit more baking spice note in there, a lighter baking spice going through there, some cherry cola going through there. Just a tiny hint, and I wouldn't even call it citrus, Trenton, but it's a tiny hint of herbal notes in there too. Zero bitterness, zero barrel coming into the,
so
to the
soft
back end
and
into the finish. No bitterness whatsoever. Man, soft. I love that.
I mean, seriously. I will go out on a limb right now and say this. It would shock me. This is going to be top 5 of the year for sure. There's no way it's not.
Okay.
100%.
Wow.
It wouldn't surprise me if both of these were.
Wow.
I'm going to try them again. This has been open. This has been open for like a week.
Yeah.
Or so. I think this is kind of more of a recent thing.
That's been open for 45 minutes.
Okay. Oh, it's that good?
I opened because you were a little late getting back.
Yeah.
And I opened it probably 15 minutes before you were supposed to get here. So about 45 minutes.
I don't know that I have like top 5 right now, but I have 3 in my mind of ones that I think are gonna make it.
And I dropped the bottle. I did. Scared the ever-loving bejeebers out of me.
I'm glad we got 2.
I was holding it here, and I was taking the thing off, and I went like that, and went boom, right on the tile floor back here.
It is thick glass.
Thank God for thick glass, man. All I could do is go, no.
Oh, I see it, dude. It's right there on the corner.
Did it chip it? Holy moly, it was rough.
Wow.
Oh my God, about lost it on that.
I don't know. Wow. This is bottle 12,606. I don't know how many they made. That's a lot of bottles.
That is.
This is batch 1A. I don't know if there are different batches of the 9-year that are kind of strewn about in the wild, but this is batch 1A for anybody that's curious.
Yeah, fantastic, man. Wow, for $80, all day, every day for that. Wonderful. I have to say, Trent, I like that one a little bit more than the Old Overholt.
I do too.
But I think both of them were solid choices today. Good for you.
After my traumatic experience with the old Granddad 16-year and it just me overhyping it so much, I was hoping that this wasn't going to be a dud like that one was. So while I do like this one more, I'm glad that this is also still like something that's going to stand out when it's like, hey, what's the best ryes of the year? This has been a really good year for ryes.
It
Again,
has.
Just like last year.
I'm really looking forward to your top 5 list of 2024. Are you going to taste them out? Or is that just going to be your list?
I'm going to taste them out.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to do them in order this
you?
year. I don't know that I did it last year.
Yeah,
I'm going to taste them.
like we do with the bourbon, with the limited bourbon and the...
I feel like we need to get everybody else in on that too.
Well, it's whatever you want to do, buddy. Yeah, especially Kent, because you two guys, man.
Michelle's a big rye fan.
Oh,
too.
She is. I forgot about that. Oh, man. No doubt about that, too.
Next, I mean, I know that a lot of distilleries, just so anybody knows, I'm kind of joking, but a lot of distilleries watch us for just kind of guidance, just on what they should be coming out in the market trends and everything, and I get that, yeah.
And where did you hear that from?
It's just, I just...
it's a 5th sense. Oh, yeah. I got you. All right.
It's like an 11th sense. I got a lot of senses.
Okay.
I would love to see Heaven Hill start pumping out old Rittenhouse like they used to. Because they got a Rittenhouse 21, a 23, a 25 that all came out like early 2000s, maybe early like,
is that
like
right?
2015 and below,
really?
Like in the 2000s. Wow. That would be another one that I think is just like Rittenhouse, I think the bottom and bond on the shelf. I'd love to see what Heaven Hill has for their ryes.
Since we've really been doing the channel, Trenton, my sense is, and talking with all the folks out there, because I get around once in a while and talk to a lot of people. Yeah. A lot more folks these days are into rye whiskeys than used to be several years ago.
It makes me so happy.
Maybe it was because of you.
It was my 11 cents, yeah.
Maybe. Maybe it was. I'm not sure, but that's the truth, though.
Yeah.
A lot of conversations about rye whiskeys where I really didn't have that several years ago.
It's just, there's just so much more flavor and they can do so much more with it. And like,
all right. Now,
no. I'm just saying, because
heavy.
Bourbon is good, but it's really like, you can only do so much with bourbon because of the laws that surround it. Rye whiskey.
True.
There's a lot more you could do with it.
Okay. All right.
Let me know if you've been into ryes more than bourbons lately. I'd be curious to kind of see the census on everybody's
rye whiskey is an excellent choice for fall.
It is. That's true.
It's an excellent fall whiskey to drink neat. So I can't argue that one right now. It was great. I loved it. I was a little bit leery, a little bit nervous about the Old Overholt.
I was too.
But pretty darn good. Happy about that.
Shout out to both Jim Beam and Sagamore. This is a fantastic job. Thank you for the good price points on these two. I'm excited to see. Yeah. I'm excited to see Sagamore come out with a 10-year.
Yeah.
Let's see how that goes.
All right. That's all we got for you today, folks. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. Have a fantastic week. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time right down here with Trent, me, and a good old basement bourbon bar. Stop it. I got that peripheral. See you later.